Hello, this is Dr. Gozina. Welcome back to the second part of our tutorial on the submerged excavation. We just completed drawing our model, assigning properties. So we are going to go now to the next step, which is to do the mesh. Once again, I'm going to do coarse mesh. Notice I like coarse mesh a lot because the calculation phase is quicker stuff. So let's view our mesh. Yeah, as you can see, we put an equivalent length of 15. So you can see when it's like you can see how the shot is big. That was what we meant by the equivalent length. So there we go. Update. Under flow condition. Now, under this case, now we will have the groundwater level at 2 meters. So I'm going to add our groundwater level. So we know it's at 2. So here is 40. So let's see. Just make sure this was not drawn accurately. I'll go back to it. Draw that again. Is it's at 2 meters. So 38. There we go. We've drawn our water. Let's go under our stack construction. Now, under this phase, we are not going to activate our water. We're just going to assume that the groundwater is there, but Plus is not going to take it into consideration since we are not going to activate it. But bear in mind that as we do excavation and have groundwater, as you do each of the excavation stages, you want to lower the groundwater level as well. But in this exercise, we are going to just leave the groundwater level at 2 as it is. And during the calculation, we are not going to activate it. So plus, which you take into consideration, it's not there, so it's not actually going to activate it. So initial stage as usual is always self-generated there. So add phase from there. Under phase 1, we are going to activate our diaphragm wall. We are going to activate our load. I am also going to activate the interface as well. So double click on it. Leave it as plastic stack construction as this. So go down here, click on the load, look at the left hand side. Underline load, you can see a self-generated value of -1 is there. So we're going to add 5, so -5. Downward load, and I'm going to click there to activate my load. Would you click on my diaphragm wall? See, yeah, click on it, activate your wall and the interface. So I'm going to, if you look on the left hand side here, the plates, that's one to activate as the diaphragm wall. I also want to activate the interface. You see positive interface there, and also the negative one. So do the same at the bottom. Activate the plate interface. Both the positive and the negative one. Negative plates. Let's not forget to zoom at the top here. You can see it's all divided because each section of each element we've drawn. So automatically it's separated as separate section, but not to worry, just go on to each of them and just activate negative plates, negative interface for the positive interface. There we go. That's activated. Now on the next phase, let's add our second phase. On our second phase now, we are going to do our first excavation. So under this phase, we are going to excavate this layer. So if you click on a layer, right click, it tells you activate, deactivate. We are going to deactivate that cluster there. So you see under phase 2, we are excavating the first layer. Now go under the second phase, phase 3. As we excavate now, we are going to install a strut to hold this other part of the soil down. If we don't hold a strut here to hold it, this soil here will tend to fall under the excavation. So under phase 3, we are going to activate our strut. So I'll zoom in just to have a good look at it. That is our strut. It shows here. So I'll click on here, first anchor here, activate the strut. So come here, shows as black, so it means it's activated. Then go to add next phase. Under phase 4, we have activated our storage on the first excavation. Under here, we'll do the second excavation. Right click and deactivate that cluster. And then next phase, phase 5, we are doing the final excavation, the third one. So I will click on that cluster, right click, and I will deactivate. So there we go. Now this I have done all the construction phase, fabrication phase of my model. So now I can calculate it. Or before you calculate it, again you need to select points for the curve. So click on the select point of the curve. And now I will select nodes on the wall at points where large deflection can be expected. So I'm just going to select zoom. I'll select some points around the wall. The wall is in blue, so I'm going to take a point there. So all the points I'm selecting will just be on the wall. Update, and now I can calculate my model. Now this was quite quick, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this model. So much excavation. There we go. Now let's view our result. Okay. Now see, we are in phase 1. See what has happened here on soil. Let's go on phase 5 where we did our third. This is what happened after we did do our third excavation. Now let's say that we want kind of a bending moment or axial forces around this wall, and you can see that in class you can really get the bending moment or axial forces when you use kind of a plate to design your model, because that is a kind of a structural element. We did our pile foundation design where we did a pile drive. We couldn't do that because this was a concrete wall, but on that is, let's try to obtain our bending moment. So if you zoom in and double click on the wall, now this tells you this is our total displacement U, and it's in scale of 50 times. And if you look up here, it gives you, this is what it gives you, like direction of displacement is that arrow. It's not very clear, but you can zoom it to have a more clearer picture. So it tells you that the arrow is going that way, so that's how your displacement is going around your wall. If you click on here, it gives you different shapes of how your displacement gone. So now if you look under these tables, go under forces. Now here it gives you other kind of things you want to show. Let's say you want to look at the axial forces and how my diaphragm wall. This is the axial force diagram that you obtain. Let's say I want to look at my bending moment. So you go under forces, bending moment. This is our bending moment for force of our diaphragm wall. So this way, if you want to get your bending moment, the bottom here gives you the maximum minimum value of the bending moment. The deformation, it won't give you the total deformation which we already have, which we already done that. So that is how you want to obtain the bending moment diagram of your structure. Shear force is there. The forces gives you also that's our bending moment. So go back to our model. So to plot a graph, just now let's go there on new 8.8. Let's say we want to plot deformation, and I've said the M stage. This is just tells the M stage is a maximum percentage of the load that's been applied to your soil, and you see what you get is really nothing relevant. Compare around it. Let me just delete all these phases. Let's see if I want phase 5. This is what it gives you, so you can, if you want to flip curve, so you can just play around with the axis, so this just the results. So this gives you, that's kind of our retaining wall, how to model it, and each stage of the excavation and everything. So this completes our tutorial on our submerged excavation, where we use our diaphragms, retaining wall, and everything.